So Meghan and Harry don't want the association with the flashy cashy, with the overtly American, and also they're supposed to appear understated, Montecito, muted tones.
Today we dive into a story that has unexpectedly resurfaced, bringing Meghan Markle, her ex-husband Trevor Engelson, Bethany Frankel, and the Kardashians into the same headline. It involves a revealing new anecdote about Meghan's early days with Prince Harry, a fresh round of Hollywood drama, and questions about the Duchess of Sussex's post-royal direction. Let's get into it. Bethany Frankel has stirred headlines again after appearing on the Toast podcast, where she casually revisited a moment from 2016. That was the very year Meghan quietly began dating Prince Harry. According to Bethany, she met Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, in the lobby of Chicago's Soho House. Trevor mentioned he had once been married to an actress from a show called Suits, something Bethany says barely registered at the time, but shortly after, when global headlines exploded with news that Prince Harry was dating an American actress, Bethany connected the dots. She texted Trevor, asking if Meghan was his ex. He simply replied, "Yup, that alone would have been a headline."
And this is a different look. Anyone's allowed to take any picture down that they want. And I mean, I can't imagine going to that event and not thinking that somehow your picture would end up somewhere, but they couldn't resist the temptation of going, but also wanted to resist the temptation of showing.
But then came the line that has electrified royal watchers. Bethany asked him, "Do you think she's going to close?" And Trevor replied, "Oh, she'll close." A very deliberate choice of words. Taken at face value, it suggests Trevor believed Meghan always intended to seal the deal with Harry. Whether he meant it admiringly or with a raised eyebrow is left open, because Bethany refused to elaborate. But the implication has ignited speculation all over again. Trevor Engelson rarely speaks publicly about Meghan. In fact, the two have maintained total silence since their divorce in 2014. Meghan moved into royal life, global fame, philanthropy, and high-profile media projects. Trevor remarried Tracy Kurland, a nutritionist and heiress, and now has 3 children. What makes Frankel's comments compelling is that Trevor represents Meghan's life before royalty, before palace advisors, before brand partnerships, before the Netflix documentaries and political rumors. He knew her when she was simply an ambitious actress building her career.
Oh, everybody's been saying this. That's a conversation I've been having all week.
Right?
Yeah.
She did not look good. We're putting it on the board. There's one with Kim Kardashian, who's in the purple, and then there's one with Kris Kardashian, who is in the red dress.
Meghan, can we stop for a moment here?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this on The Nerve.
So when he replied, "She'll close," people paid attention. Bethany didn't just share the anecdote. She offered a frank assessment of Meghan and Harry's moves since stepping down as working royals. She said Meghan initially seemed like a positive force for the monarchy, bringing freshness, energy, and a new narrative. But she also said the couple's post-royal strategy has felt chaotic and unfocused. She used the phrase, "trying to put 50 pounds of something in a 5-pound bag," referring to the way their storytelling, branding, and message have become overcrowded and overly dramatic. Frankel argued that with stronger management and a clearer long-term plan, things could have looked very different. It's a criticism many commentators have echoed. The couple's public approach has lacked consistency, leaving the narrative to shift wildly from project to project. Next, the story takes a Hollywood turn. Meghan's appearance at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party made headlines instantly. This was a major celebrity gathering, filled with A-listers, reality TV royalty, and industry titans. Cameras were everywhere. Photos were posted. And then, mysteriously, some were removed.
Prince of the blood, he's ogling a 70-year-old woman.
It's so true. I hadn't considered that as one of the motivations for what we now know was a demand, reportedly by Meghan, to take down these pictures.
Reports claimed the Sussexes allegedly asked Kim Kardashian or Kris Jenner to take down certain images that included Meghan and Harry. Whether this was a polite request, a PR decision, or simply a misunderstanding is unclear. But the outcome was unmistakable. Posts vanished without explanation. And, predictably, speculation exploded. Bethany commented on this too, saying Meghan is trying to inhabit multiple identities at once. A political voice, a humanitarian figure, a Hollywood insider, a lifestyle brand, a friend of the Kardashians, and simultaneously, someone who wants to embody the dignity of a former royal. It's a complicated mix, and attending a Kardashian party, only to have the evidence quietly scrubbed, does little to clarify the message. On top of that, there were recent whispers about deleted Instagram posts from people in Meghan and Harry's circle. These were more candid images, less curated, more casual glimpses of the couple.
And they didn't do anything wrong. It's just been hard to be them because they have been riding between two worlds for a long time, and they just have to land, accept where they land. Don't bite the hand that's now feeding them, and lean all the way in.
They appeared briefly, then vanished almost immediately. This fuels the idea that the Sussexes are still trying to tightly control how they're seen, despite moving into an industry where over-curating can appear calculated rather than protective. Hollywood accepts vulnerability. The monarchy demands polish. Meghan and Harry seem stuck balancing both. Perhaps Bethany's sharpest observation was this: Meghan is trying to be so many different things, and I don't think she fully knows who she is. It's blunt, but it reflects the central challenge of Meghan's current public chapter. She has dabbled in political advocacy, lifestyle branding, podcasting, documentary producing, Hollywood networking, wellness messaging, and high-level philanthropy. Each move has attracted its own set of headlines, supporters, and critics, but the overall narrative lacks cohesion. There is still no definitive lane, no clear message, no consistent public identity, and that inconsistency allows smaller gossip moments like Frankel's anecdote, the Kardashian deletions, or fleeting Instagram leaks to dominate the conversation.
If you look at the former photo, the first one where Harry is looking at Chris, if you look closely, okay,
His eyes
do you see where they are?
on her boobs.
And he looks wasted, wasted. And Meghan, that's your prize, okay? That's your Duke.
The reason Bethany's story resonated is because it tapped into the very beginning of Meghan's rise. It suggests that someone who knew her long before the royal fame believed she was always strategic, always intentional, always one step ahead. The type of person who will do whatever it takes to get what she wants. Oh, she'll close. Taken together, the Trevor Engelson anecdote, the Kardashian deletion rumors, and the scrapped Instagram posts point to one thing: Meghan's need for control. She couldn't stand the lack of control as a royal, but now she's trying to keep up. A new identity is trying to emerge, but the old narratives still follow her. Hollywood operates by different rules than Buckingham Palace, and trying to straddle both worlds rarely works smoothly. Meghan's next moves need clarity, consistency, and a long-term plan. Otherwise, stories like these will continue to fill the gaps. When Meghan and Harry stepped away from royal life,
If you're not on camera, why live?
Does it even matter?
Does it matter? So they go, the cost of entry, this is a blood oath you take when you cross the threshold of any Kardashian-Jenner enterprise. You're going to be exploited. Your
Yes.
image and
Yes,
likeness,
you are.
you are signing it away. Just
one of their primary reasons was the claim that they wanted privacy for themselves and their children. They said they hoped to escape the intrusion of the British press and the constraints of royal duty. Meghan spoke openly on multiple platforms about how oppressive the royal environment felt for her. She said she felt silenced. She said she wasn't protected. She said she was discouraged from seeking help when she struggled with her mental health. She criticised the institution for its rigidity, for its traditions, for the way it handled race, and for the roles they were expected to play. Harry echoed these points and went much further in his memoir and interviews. They accused members of the family and staff of leaking stories. They described the palace as cold, bureaucratic, and unwilling to modernise. The overarching message was clear. They wanted a quieter life, away from the pressures of the monarchy. But this is where the contradictions begin to show, because the moment they stepped away, they did not move quietly into private life. They moved directly into Hollywood, a multi-million-dollar Netflix deal, high-profile interviews, a global Oprah special watched by nearly 50 million people, Spotify contracts, celebrity partnerships, red carpets, brand launches, award shows, new PR teams, and a Montecito mansion so large it has its own nickname. This is not the behaviour of people avoiding publicity. This is the behaviour of two people who want fame, influence, power, and a cultural platform, but only on their own terms. The problem is that Hollywood does not operate on royal terms. You cannot demand attention one moment and demand the removal of photos the next. You cannot push global documentaries and best-selling memoirs, then expect the world to give you privacy because you ask. You cannot be a public figure only when convenient. Attending the Kardashian party is not the issue. Celebrities attend celebrity events. It is the alleged request to delete the photos afterwards that creates the impression of double standards. Meghan wants to be seen as a humanitarian, a women's advocate, a polished former royal, but also wants to network with Hollywood's most powerful influencers. She wants a curated version of fame, one in which every angle, every caption, every frame, every narrative is controlled. But that is simply not how fame works. And this desire to control everything, to shape every chapter, is partly why she is now being called out by many observers. The woman who claimed she wanted a private and protected life is now showing up at the most public, photographed commercial events imaginable, yet seemingly scrambling behind the scenes to hide certain images or conversations. These contradictions are starting to become her brand, and once a narrative like that takes hold, it is very difficult to shake. So that is the latest chapter in Meghan's evolving public story. A resurfaced comment from her ex-husband, a celebrity party drama, deleted posts, and a bigger conversation about direction, image, and strategy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was Trevor's remark simply an offhand observation, or does it reveal something deeper about Meghan's need for control and her ambitions from the very beginning? If you enjoy these royal family breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.